show with, some silly anecdote about something that one of us did during the week or some silly story, and we'll get to that in a second. But I wanted to quickly, just off the top, while I have anyone who is tuning in's attention on the podcast feed, the stuff that's going on in the Middle East right now between Israel and Palestinians is disgusting. And though our platform may be smaller compared to some of those other out there, I wanted to just take a moment to say that if you are unaware of what is happening out there, you should definitely take some time this weekend or this week when you listen to this and stop listening to this and go educate yourself. It's not hard to find out what's actually going on. And now that I've done a lot more research myself and read a lot more about what is actually happening over there, it's it's war crimes, it's genocide, it's erasure of Palestinian people. It's really really disgusting. So look out there, find some credible places to read. There are plenty of places and threads you can find that have a lot of information. I know Today, IGN, GameSpot, and Kotaku all put up articles that kind of talk about what's going on, in a lot of places where you can donate and help spread the word, give some money if you can, to these organizations that are helping the people over there that are in these terrible situations. So just wanted to start things off with that note, because it's been something that's been going on for a long time, and now that I've read more into what's going on, I'm very disturbed, and I wish I had taken the time to learn about this much sooner. So yeah, that's that.
I actually just watched a video of it was a 10-year-old girl, and it was outside like rubble and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
this poor girl looked like she was fucking like 30 years old. She didn't look like it, but like the way she held herself and everything,
Yeah,
she's like, I'm just 10 years old. These are kids. They just want to, I was like, Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
I watched that video too. It's I don't know. It's
She was so
very,
well spoken, but she seemed like she's not having a childhood, obviously.
yeah.
It's fucking
It's very very sad what's going on over there. And this has been going on for a long time, like 70 plus years at this point. So our hearts go out to Muslim people and people in Palestine and Palestinians who are dealing with this fascist government over in Israel. So please take a moment. If you are if you don't agree with what I'm saying, I I don't turn the podcast off. I don't know what else to tell you. If you are uninformed, like many of us may be, take the time after you're done listening to this, or pause it right now and go look into it. It is not hard to find the truth about what's going on, and you should definitely be looking into what is actually happening to
it's
those
crazy
people over
because this
there.
happens all the. I mean, this has been going on for like so long, but this is the first time I've actually seen like pushback. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? In a good like it's kind of crazy.
yeah, it's definitely the first time I've seen
I've
like
never even I
this
was gonna
type
say
of
I've
rallying
never
on
seen
social
this before.
media.
Yes,
So
exactly.
hopefully this can be the spark that pushes things forward in a better way. But it's very disheartening to know that this is as is what is it is. And for a lot of, I'll just say, probably for a lot of Americans, a lot of people in the United States, that's not the reality that we get shown, and that's not the reality that they dig for.
It's already becoming like a Republican versus Democrat
Yeah,
talking point too in
of
the
course
United
it is.
States. Of course,
Yeah.
of course. So it's like
So hopefully the right people say the right things and do the right things and can help move this into a much better situation for all of the people being affected by this. But to move into some regular stuff, so this week I had my fucking other side of my wisdom teeth pulled out, and I told Todd a little bit about this. But did I tell you I got my other teeth pulled this week, Mike?
Uh, I think you had mentioned that it was going to happen, but we did not speak
Yeah,
about it.
like a few days ago, and it's to the point where I was like, "Fuck!" I like completely forgot to see if maybe we should have recorded like an episode during the week or something, because I didn't know how it'd be, and I'm still not okay. Like,
yeah, I didn't think we were going to be doing this, to be honest with you.
yeah,
From what you told me on the other day, I was
I
like, oh
mean,
yeah, we're not recording.
it's because of these that I'm able to even sit here and talk right now. So when they did the first, like they did the left side of my teeth, back in February or whatever, that was the side that was fucked up. It was infected. It was like tilted a little bit. It was causing a lot of issues and pain. So that was like they had like emergency, like we got to get you in here right away and get this taken out. But the right side of my mouth, the teeth were straight. Like there was no issues. There was no tooth decay. There was no cavities. It was just like they were just there. But the only thing was there was a like my mouth is not big enough to have those teeth in there, so there was a little bit of my gums that were like over the bottom tooth just because my mouth's not big enough. So there was like a little bit of an overhang. The dentist was like, so it's not causing you issues now, probably won't cause you issues for a while, but eventually you won't be able to clean as good as you need to underneath that little gap where the gum's covering the back of the tooth. So at some point that tooth will probably cause you pain because it will start to decay because you can't brush it. So we should probably just take these out soon. So, whatever, I got them out this week on like Thursday or whatever. I don't even remember what day it was. And I was at the dentist, Mike, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And the first like 45 minutes of that was like just a routine cleaning. They wanted to clean I was just getting a cleaning as well. But the rest of that time was spent almost solely on my bottom tooth. The top tooth came out in a few minutes, like very little issues. The bottom tooth was such a fucking nightmare, way worse than the tooth that was actually the problem. Like that one still put up a fight, but this tooth that seemingly should have just been like, we're going to pop this out and we're good to go. Like I have cuts on both corners of my mouth because of how wide and how long my mouth had to be open. Like in the corners of my lips, like it's like ripped, which is very painful. And they like the dentist was just like digging at my mouth for so long, and to the point where he was like applying so much force trying to pull the bottom tooth out that he took off the top half of the tooth. Like the top half of the tooth came out, and then it was just like pieces of tooth and my roots still in the gums. So he's like, there's no way for me to grab these pieces of tooth and pull them out because there's nothing to grab onto. Like it's just like little things. So he's trying to get it out. No luck. It's a fucking nightmare. Like there's so much anesthesia into my gums. Wait, what did you say?
I said, get a spoon and scoop it out.
I mean, I don't know. He used a lot of tools. Like he kept trying stuff, and like I would hear him opening. I like close my eyes at the dentist. I don't need to see what's going on. I feel like that'll make it worse. So I just close my eyes while I'm there. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I just kept hearing new bags of instruments being opened to try different things to get it out, and it just wouldn't happen. And then it got to the point where he was spending so much time on it, and like it doesn't hurt. There's so much like numbing needles in my gums that like all I feel is pressure and like the uncomfort of like the discomfort of just them pulling my mouth wide open for so long. And I lost track of what I was going to say. Oh, it got to the point where he was like, all right, I don't want to have to put more anesthesia in your top palate because that's the needle that really hurts. He's like, so let's take out your top tooth. Hopefully it doesn't cause as much of a issue as this one, and then we'll revisit the bottom. Top one came out, went back to the bottom, and it got to the point where he was just slowly taking like a drill of some sort and just like shaving the roots down, because it got to the point where he was like, I can't pull these out because if I go, they had to like take new x-rays of my mouth. Like this was a fucking I was sweating so bad. Like it was just like so much pressure on my face, so uncomfortable. To the point where he was like, I got to take new x-rays, got to look what's going on here. It looks like the roots of that tooth either fused to my jawbone or they fused together at the bottom, which was making it very hard for him to pull it out. So basically what he said was, I could keep cutting down into the tooth. He's like, but there's two problems here. If I hit your jawbone, that's not going to be good. There's also like a nerve canal underneath there that's like a major nerve in your body that controls, I don't know if it's everything in your head or just everything in your face. And he's like, if I hit that, it's game over. Like you're going to be permanently damaged. He's like, so it's really not worth it. It's not ideal for me to leave your roots in here. He's like, but the only option at this point is they got to stay in there. He's like, but they shouldn't cause you any pain. Your mouth will heal. And two things are going to happen. When your mouth heals, either the tooth is just gonna seal itself and you'll just have like roots that exist down there, or over time your body, and they're just gonna stay there, or over time your body's gonna go, oh, I don't need these in here, and they'll just come up through my gums. Like I'll basically, like, the tooth will grow in again, but it will just be the roots growing out. So I hope they just fucking stay in my mouth, because I really don't want to have to go back in to get the roots pulled out again. But fuck, it was bad.
Yo, I'd rather have open when they cut me open from my stomach to almost like the top of my ribs. I would rather have that done all over again than do any of that stuff. I hate the fucking dead.
I never, like, I'm happy to go back and like get regular cleanings, whatever, just regular stuff. And he was like, unless you have some sort of accident and you break a tooth or something, he's like, you should be good on tooth surgery now. You shouldn't have to worry about anything else. But I will say, when I got the left side out back in February, they gave me nothing afterwards. They were like, maybe antibiotic. No, they gave me antibiotic before, so I didn't have anything. They didn't like give me pain medicine, nothing like that. He was just like, take ibuprofen every 6 hours, don't eat hard food, blah, 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 you'll be good to go. When I was getting ready to leave the dentist, he was like, so I'm going to give you an antibiotic just in case. I'm going to give you prescription for 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. That way you can just take the one ibuprofen every 6 hours instead of taking a bunch of like mini ibuprofens. And he's like, I'm also going to give you a lot of steroids, because I'm just going to be honest with you, it's probably going to be bad. Like, you're probably going to be very swollen and be in a lot of pain. He's like, the steroids should hopefully help a lot of that. That's why I'm giving you this much steroids. So I'm on steroids for a week, which so far I hate being on. I'm like extra anxious and jittery, and it's just not fun. But it is definitely helping with some of the pain in my face. So there's that.
So moral of this story is get your wisdom teeth out at a young age.
Jesus, yeah. If your dentist ever tells you that you probably have to get them out at some point, don't wait. Just get it done and over with.
Just get them out.
Because the longer, keep talking, because I remember I have to take this antibiotic right now. I forgot.
I was gonna say, like, I had mine out like when I was young. I think I was in college still. And I couldn't imagine, like, at this point in my life, I fucking hate the dentist, and I can't even say that enough.
Yeah.
Like, every time I get a tooth filled, which it hasn't been in years, but like, they fucking will give me like 17 needles of Novocaine, and then I still feel that pain from the fucking drill on your tooth, and I'm just like, no, fuck this. I'm out. Like, I want to just get out of the chair and get it out.
Oh, see, my dentist is like, before he does anything, like, he puts the needles in, he waits, and then, he does a test by basically taking the needle and like poking my lip, and he goes, can you feel that? I'm like, nope. He's like, all right, we're good to go. And while he's doing stuff, like, there was one point, my body must either have a high tolerance for, I don't know if it's Novocaine or whatever they're using for anesthesia. My body must have a high tolerance for it, because both times when they started doing stuff, I was like, I can still feel that. And he's like, oh, no problem. And just like fucking starts needling the shit out of my gums. He's like, you won't feel anything anymore. And like, this time it was like, I could still feel it at first. And I was like, no, I can definitely still feel that. I had so much fucking Novocaine in my face that like the whole side of my face. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst part of the whole thing.
Like, it's like, you can like it's not bad, but like, it doesn't hurt or anything. But like, you can just feel. My dentist is fucking probably terrible in retrospect, because this guy wants to be a stand-up comedian. He's always trying to be funny, and he sucks at like everything else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know why I continue to.
I wish this fucking dentist would. He's like, he has good like rapport before and after, but like during it, he's like not talking. He's just working. And in my head, I'm like, fucking say anything, please. Someone say something, because I obviously can't. I'm just like sitting there with my eyes closed, like, oh my god, I want to play Mass Effect this weekend.
What is he supposed to say to you while he's
That's
working?
true. That's true, I guess. It's I don't know. Anyways, I'm just happy that part's over. I literally cannot wait to eat hard food again. Like, I am struggling right now. I've had so much fruit the last 2 days. That's like all I can have.
I like that.
It's not that, like, I like eating fruit. The thing for me is that because it's all I'm eating, I feel so empty, and I'm just like, I want something heavier. But I'm at least going to wait a few more days before I, eat anything a little bit harder, just because I think I definitely waited way too long last time like I probably could have eaten harder food sooner last time. When I told the dentist when I went back for my follow-up that I still wasn't eating hard food, he was like, why? You can eat hard food now. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't want to fuck anything up because there's still a hole in my mouth. He's like, yeah, that hole's going to be there for a little bit, but you're good now. He's like, obviously don't like chew directly on top of that, but
Yo, someone's jacking your car.
yeah, I don't know what the fuck's happening. What the fuck? Where is this podcast being fucking recorded? What the fuck is this?
For a second there, I was like, "Is that me?" But then I realized I only
right.
heard it.
Yeah, right.
I only heard it when you were talking.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about the dentist too much. Either way, each and every week we have a new... Sorry, it's the medicine. Each and every day we have a new episode. Each and every day? Jesus, I hope not. Each and every week we have a new episode for you. This intro is fucking garbage. We have a new episode every week. Pass Control Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself. He's so fucking money and he doesn't even know it. Mr. Michael Lazier. How are you doing, Mike?
Yeah, it was a great callback to Swingers. Good job.
You love it. You love it.
That's all I got.
How are you feeling after getting your second shot today?
Oh, you got your second shot. Nice.
Yeah.
No, not really feeling anything. That's good. I mean, I'm jealous.
Were you the Pfizer gang?
Yep.
Yeah, well, the Pfizer gang rolls deep and fucking I don't know anyone who had Pfizer who like felt shitty. I know one person.
I think part of it too is I think if you don't really have any symptoms, that's probably like light confirmation that you didn't get COVID at any point, and we're like asymptomatic or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that must I bet that most people that thought they didn't get COVID, but then like felt shitty from the shot probably were maybe asymptomatic and had it at some point. But anyways, that's good. I'm glad you're not feeling garbage. Though I would be careful about tomorrow. I wouldn't.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I wouldn't.
The next day.
Yeah,
it's
I wouldn't.
14 hours, I think they said. After
Yeah,
the shot.
I wouldn't plan on much tomorrow just in case.
Just crack open a Mai Tai right now and chase it down with some water. You'll be good.
I mean, do I even have Mai Tai still? I don't remember anymore.
I got a bunch of shit in my trunk. Not Mai Tais, but I got a bunch of shit in my trunk. If you want to stop by, you can take some shit. Anyways, rounding us out, I'm going to be fucking off the rails this episode, apparently. I have to take this fucking antibiotic 4 times a day, and it's so hard to keep track of. That's why I just had to take it, because it's like 4 times a day, spreading that out. I'm like, when did I take it last? Anyways.
Put a timer on your phone.
That sounds like too much work. Rounding us out, it's not, Mike. I'm just an idiot. The monster hunter himself, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
Good. Very good. Looking to fucking play some games after this.
Ooh.
It's tough, man. It's like there's too much out right now, and I'm just fucking jumping all around like crazy.
You got to play Mass Effect. I want to.
I mean, that's what I'm on right now. I mean, I beat Resident Evil, so that's. Although I do want to jump back into that, but and then Returnal. I keep on jumping into that, and then Monster.
Oh, you didn't finish Returnal yet?
No,
I don't know. For some reason, I thought you did.
It's funny. I listened to Triple Click for the first time in forever because I saw that they were talking about Returnal.
Mm-hmm.
And not Maddie. What's the other? Not Jason. What's the other guy? My favorite dude from the podcast.
Is it Patrick Klepek?
No. What the fuck is his name? This is gonna drive me crazy.
Why can't I think of the name either?
Kurt.
Oh, Kirk Hamilton. Yes.
Yeah. He beat the game and only died 7 times.
That sounds
and I'm just
like not normal.
No, and basically that's what Jason and Maddie were both saying. They were just like, yeah, I mean, like, you clearly play. He's like, yeah, I played this game and like I'd play for an hour, and he played it very carefully. And whenever I play like a roguelite, I like fucking go crazy. I'm like, run, and I'm like running around just trying to do it super fast, which after a while I take some deep breaths and then I'm like, oh, I can easily beat this boss now. Like it's just, I just have that in my head with some of these games that like, the quicker I go, the quicker, and it's probably not the greatest approach for these games, but yeah, it's tough though. I can only make it to the second biomes boss and I can't beat him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. If I get a PS5, maybe I could imagine, but can't get a PS5 still. So
it's just wild.
Is that? I think it's only going to get worse now over the next few months, just because they announced that there's going to be probably delays and
Yeah,
shortages
no,
until
it's
next
across
year.
the board. It's like it's with. I was reading something today. It's gonna be like it's across the board. It's
It's
not
with
just like
switches too. It's everything. It's like the
well, no, it's
components.
not even just gaming. Like food, we're gonna see like a lot of like issues with food and a whole bunch of other things too. It's like gonna be these next couple months are not gonna be great for
I believe it.
certain things that you like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the supply chain of so many things has been fucked up from everything. So, and still, currently fucked up. And that's not like things have changed too drastically at this point. Um, but yeah, so we got a nice little show for you this evening. Dom is not available to join us tonight, and we're gonna keep it light, keep it a little threesome. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going.
Light, keep it tight.
Keep it light, keep it tight. But before we roll into tonight's episode, a couple of housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass the Controller podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday evening, and you want yourself something delicious, something sweet, something hot and fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty treats. But if you're like me and you're still trying to keep a safe distance from literally everybody, you can get them to deliver it right to your doorstep if you are in this area. And let me tell you, they come just as hot and just as fresh, like they were pulled out of the oven of a car when they show up to your house. So I'm just saying.
What if you like looked outside when you got it delivered and the guy had like the box on top of his motor? He opens.
He takes out of the engine.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
Dude.
Why not? I didn't look at the actual flavors tonight, Mike, but I looked at their social media post, and I at least assume one of them is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't know if you saw
Cinnamon
this.
Toast Crunch, salted caramel, Oreo, something.
It's like vanilla Oreo, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, and the third one I didn't get. I forget what it was.
It's funny about
social nuts or something.
Social media, just going to social media and a little off topic, but like I've kind of stepped away from a good chunk of social media recently, and it's fucking nice. It really
I
is.
noticed
Like,
because normally I would see that you had commented on something and got into a huge debate with a bunch of strangers.
yeah,
and
man,
I haven't seen that
I'm
recently.
done, man.
I forgot about
and
that.
like Facebook, I don't even use anymore. I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't use Facebook. I don't use Instagram. I'll occasionally jump on Instagram if someone sends something to the group that we have in there. And then I still do Twitter occasionally. I fucking TikTok all day, every day. That's like the only thing I like. It's like lighthearted stuff. I need those laughs. I don't need to see depressing shit all day.
Todd is my source of TikTok. Like, I don't ever go on TikTok unless Todd sends me, or Mike, you occasionally send a TikTok, which I'm assuming is not coming from TikTok. It's coming from Reddit.
If I ever send you a TikTok, it's typically because I saw the video elsewhere, and then I made the effort of finding the actual TikTok.
You wanted to give the TikToker
I want to give
the view.
The credit, yeah.
Okay, all right. I fuck with that, Mike. I like that rationale. I want to use TikTok more for like Pass the Controller stuff. I just don't know what the fuck to make. Like, I don't.
You got to be creative, and I'm just not like I don't have enough energy.
I mean, I'm creative. It's just we have our hands in so many other pots. Like, how many more pots can we be in?
You need to like find some weird, stupid thing and like roll with it, And it's just, I just don't have that.
Yeah, you would either need to do that, or you would have to use it to, if you edited down some of your stream clips into something bite-sized, you could throw out.
Yeah.
Someone could be like, oh, this guy's a hoot. I'm gonna follow him on all the social.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not a hoot, so like they're gonna look at this and go, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
No. This would require heavy editing, lots of lying, just outright fibs, and I don't know what else you could do to jazz it up.
Yeah. At this point, the only reason why I still have a Facebook account is because of the Oculus. Whenever they hopefully at some point disassociate those two being necessary, I'm gonna bow down from Facebook. I don't use Facebook for anything.
I only like it because it's like documentation of life events with my family and like friends. And that's the only thing I like about it. And like everything else, it's become like this whole platform of like old racist people in their 60s fucking yelling at each other, or fake accounts and old people who yell at each other. And
I mean, honestly, for the most part, Facebook, at least my Facebook feed for the most part is basically like people that I don't interact with on Twitter. Like people that don't have a Twitter, or I guess don't have an Instagram. And most of the people that are on there that I are on my feed are like, the people, the stuff that I see, I'm like, why is this person even connected to me still? Like, what is happening? Like, I just don't want to deal with this.
And some of the stuff I see, I'm like, man, I liked you. Why the fuck are you saying this shit?
Yeah.
Why are you using Facebook at this point in the Facebook
Yeah.
career? Like, tell this to your friends. Like, no one wants to fucking hear you talk shit about like some president or fucking like. It's just like enough.
Or like vaccines and COVID, just like shit like that. I'm just like, I don't like. I mute a lot of people on there because it's like I don't want to go through the issues of like having to have some stupid confrontational thing because of your thoughts on vaccines. Because like
you guys know, I'm like the most confrontational person on. Well, I used to be, and like I'm just like I literally. There's been like not recently, but a few months ago, I would be like writing up like almost a paragraph, and I stopped myself. And I'm like, Todd, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you're just talking to someone that doesn't give a fuck what you say.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop wasting your time.
It's like I would argue that like 99% of the time, if you engage with anyone, even if it's someone you know on social media about a disagreeing opinion on something like that, you're never going to change anyone's mind. So it's like a fruitless conversation that I just don't have the energy for.
I got like some notification that someone sent me a message in Facebook, and it ended up being nothing. But I didn't even look at my Facebook like messaging part that I just didn't even really know about.
Mm-hmm.
I have some fucked up shit. Remind me to screenshot you some of these things. Someone wished my kids would get SIDS. Like,
yikes!
Like, like legit, like some because I probably commented on political shit.
Yeah,
and that was their comeback. Like,
I mean, I have some stuff. What? I have some stuff in recent time from people that I know that I'm just like. I want to tell you to like fuck off, but I'm not gonna go down that avenue because I care about other people that are unfortunately connected to you. So I'm just gonna avoid that stupid confrontation, instead not even give you the satisfaction of having an interaction with you. But anyways, that was our very weird ad read for Good Night Fatty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got there, but
but it's good because we were like, we don't know what we're gonna talk about today. Hey, we just
fucking
like a good 10
minutes. We're just talking about fucking shit that nobody cares about.
I went there yesterday and got 2 of the ones I mentioned.
Whoa, today's Saturday. You just made me realize today's Saturday, Mike, when you said that, because I was like, you went there on Thursday. How?
Brenden, it's okay. You've already said. You already started off this episode by saying, "Oh, with me this lovely Saturday evening is the anime." Like that was something you said 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I get my fucking maracas here, Mike.
I mean, when we were playing It Takes Two all day yesterday, I'm like, "Is it Sunday?"
I know, and you that threw me for a fucking loop. I was like, "No, I can't be Sunday already."
Yeah, right.
But a few other housekeeping things before we keep rolling through. The PTC Movie Club for May is Dom's pick, and he has a theme for his picks.
I'm just
in the
gonna
first.
Come out and say this though. This pick.
You already watched it?
Rough. I attempted like the first hour with Liam, and it's like, I mean, we don't need to talk. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but like literally everyone in this movie is just like, I'm phoning this in for this sweet, sweet paycheck. You know, like it is just brutal.
I mean, just gonna be like, if you were in that situation, why not get that Disney paycheck and bounce? Like absolutely. Eddie Murphy doesn't give a fuck. Make that paycheck. But yeah, so that being said, Dom's pick is The Haunted House, I believe, or Haunted Mansion, The Haunted Mansion, starring Eddie Murphy. It's on Disney Plus. I don't think it's anywhere else streaming. So if you bought it for some reason or want to rent it, there you go. That's the PTC Movie Club pick for May. We will talk about that on the last episode of May. And then who's it back to? Is it back to Todd?
It's me, and I got some fucking. Oh, I got some real good ones that are going up on that poll. And
boy. Wait, I thought you weren't going to do a poll. This is like a whole. Okay, you're going to go to a poll.
I wasn't going to, but like I, it's been like what 4 or 5 months, and every fucking month I'm like, fuck, what about this one? So I got a list of. It's gonna be 4 that I want to watch every single one of them again anyway. So.
Oh, John Wick.
Yeah, I mean, I should do that just so you watch John Wick.
I'm surprised that no one has picked John Wick at this point. Like, this is your golden opportunity to make me watch John Wick.
Yeah, we've all seen it, and like, I don't need to force you to watch it. And if
I want you guys
rewatch
to watch
myself,
like
I'll
hidden
rewatch
gems
it.
that you would never watch, that you would never think. Like you'll probably eventually watch John Wick, but I want you to watch movies that you probably never even heard of that you probably might end up liking.
Yes, I want you to pick movies that you think I'm gonna like. Like, not, I don't know. Dom's throwing these fucking cards out here.
I rewatched Midsummer recently, and the ending was so good. I kind of want you to just watch that movie,
Oh,
just for
stop.
like once. But
Stop that.
that's not even going to be in my pick. So
Okay,
no
good.
thought. That
Good.
maybe when it comes back around to like the Halloween time, if my pick's in Halloween, I'll make you watch, even though it's not a scary movie whatsoever.
Yeah, but like I'm scared of the fucking thing chasing you in the medium. So like everything is scary to me.
Yeah, but there's nothing. It's all daylight stuff. Like nothing like that happens in that movie.
Doesn't
It's just
matter.
more
Still
like,
makes me fucking scared.
yeah,
I don't like
no, I
tension.
get
I
it.
don't like fucking tension.
There's no tension really. I feel like in that movie either. It's just it's weird. It's hard to describe.
Every once in a while, and I think I sent one in a group chat before, but Instagram has their TikTok clone built into the
Yeah,
app,
yeah, I've seen
which
that. Yeah.
is largely
Basically,
just
they plug
TikTok
from
videos.
TikTok. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I saw one. I think I sent one before that was a reference to Hereditary, and then I saw another one by the same guy doing it for Midsummer, I think. And I was like, I should send this to you guys, but I think I must have sent the first one. Or I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that just sends TikToks from the same person all the time.
What was it from Midsummer? Do you know?
I can't remember because at least with the Hereditary one, I understood what was happening. Like I understood the reference. In Midsummer, whatever something told me it was Midsummer, obviously, but I don't remember what actually happened in the video.
Yeah.
Totally get you. A few other housekeeping things. I was recently on the HP Critical podcast, so definitely check that out. We talked about a lot of great things. It was a nice 2-hour episode, so a lot of topics covered there. So check that out. I think I have something else. I can't talk about that yet, actually. I did just put up the first hour of gameplay for the Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, up on our YouTube channel. So if you're curious about that game, I'll talk about it a little bit today. But if you're curious about that game, want to see that game in action, you can check that out over on our social media, our YouTube. And we also have our upcoming 12-hour live stream to raise money for myasthenia gravis, which, for those of you listening who don't know, is a rare disease that my partner Jen has. So every year we do a 12-hour live stream to raise money for the MGFA. All the money goes towards research and awareness for MG. So if you want to tune in to that, that is going to be Saturday, June 12th, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you want to donate then, you can donate now. We also have 2 new t-shirts up on our shop at passthecontroller.threadless.com, where there's also a link to our shop on our website at passthecontroller.io. Both of those shirts, whichever one you buy, if you buy one or both, all of the proceeds from those shirts go directly to the fund. So if you want to buy a shirt, you can do that, or you can donate directly, or you can just, if you don't have money to spend, you can always just share the announcements in the streams. That way, hopefully other people who can donate can tune in.
Yo, we need to do what we said we were gonna do with that for you. Like we need to, because it's 12 hours. We need to put you in a very uncomfortable situation just to get that viewership going and to fucking something to like play Resident Evil 7 or
Listen,
what I'm saying?
we can talk about donation milestones, and if we get to certain ones, maybe I'll play Five Nights at Freddy's, maybe I'll play Resident Evil, who knows.
How about you play Resident Evil 7 VR? I'll give you my copy of the game. You use your PlayStation VR up and running. You want to fucking shit your pants and watch everyone?
See, I don't want to shit my pants. That would have to be a lofty goal. We're gonna have to get to a high number for that.
It's how you're starting it off, and that's how you're gonna get that viewership going.
Definitely not.
And you're gonna just tease
at
that
10
weeks and
a.m.
weeks and weeks.
No one is gonna tune in at 10 a.m. to watch that.
Bro, I'll fucking be there.
Listen, I don't want to start my 12-hour day off doing that, because I'll be fucking rattled for the rest of the day.
The thing
I
he does at night
off.
at 10 p.m. at night. He'll start playing Resident Evil VR streams, and I don't know. We'll put a 4D element into it. I don't know. Todd, just go over his house and start throwing things.
Fuck that.
Yeah, right.
Jade said the uncomfortable situation is bringing back charity. There was the first year that we did the stream. I think it was the first year that we did it, where we played Rock Band, and we got to a certain milestone that Jen dressed me up in her clothes, put makeup on me, and gave me a wig, and I played Rock Band with Mike as my alter ego charity.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
It was a thing. That was the most money we raised, though. Last year, we would have raised more money, but there was an issue with the website where it wasn't tracking donations properly. So it was the money was getting donated, but it wasn't getting donated to our team. So it was just going to the MGFA, which is fine. I mean, money's still going there.
What did we play last year? I feel like I jumped in with you last year on something.
We probably
I
played
don't know what
Overwatch. We definitely played Overwatch
probably,
at some point. That's probably when I had a bunch of you guys on. But we can do other stuff. But there'll be a lot of things. I know a lot of people want to come on at some points too and play stuff. So I'm sure we'll do a bunch of different things. Maybe some Among Us. Maybe some Jackbox. Well, Jackbox, I don't know, because I feel like Jackbox always has this tendency for, like, if some random person that's watching on Twitch joins, they say racist shit, and I'm like, I mean, I guess we could block it out. Like, we could just not allow people to join us, which, maybe we'll do that.
Or let people that we know.
Yeah, let's specific people join us. Yeah. That way it's not these random trolls on the internet that are popping in and saying the N-word or whatever else they want to say because they're fucking idiots. But yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna have a couple of good pizzas or something on hand so I can fucking eat at some point and not be scrounging for food during it. I always forget to get food beforehand.
Get that chili. Get a pot of chili going the night before.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea, but I also, like, again, I can't be taking fucking poop breaks during the middle of this. I'm also not bringing the camera into the bathroom.
You have to. That's part of a certain tier. That's a certain tier. Once
no,
you hit,
that's 1,000,000% not happening.
Just the camera just shows your feet with your pants around your ankles. That's it. It's like, guys, I'm doing
it. We're streaming for charity. Anyways, so yeah, we got some things coming up. Got some other things in the works that we'll talk about soon. But anyways, moving right along. Mike, have you been playing anything this week? Anything different, or just kind of the same old stuff?
I don't even think I played video games this week, to be honest.
I haven't seen Mike on Xbox.
A real fucking gamer over here. Did you get the May MMA skin?
I know I did it on PC because it was convenient, and I think at some point I must have turned on my Xbox just to quickly buy it.
Oh, it was a purchasable skin?
Yes.
With, like, regular coins or with Overwatch League tokens?
Tokens.
Interesting.
That's how you know Overwatch is dead for me, when I don't even go back to get a May skin.
Overwatch is dead for you because you uninstalled it from your Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Which I still don't understand how you did that. Why you did that.
I mean, I don't play it by myself anymore, and yeah,
but
I mean,
it's like that's not a game that's fun to you to just jump in with the group and just fucking have a good time. Overwatch will always be fun to me. Like,
for me personally, at this point in my life, I would much rather get the crew to jump into Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, that's not going to happen. You're not going to get anyone besides me to play that.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you never know. We might be able to find some people, but like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I would much rather do Rainbow Six Siege or something like that because Overwatch was great for the fucking 4 years I played it nonstop, and I burnt myself out on it. And,
I mean, we're getting Overwatch 2 news soon. That stream is this month, right, Mike?
Probably not getting that game either.
Yeah, they're gonna talk about it.
No, they're gonna like do I think a deep dive onto Overwatch 2. I'm excited for it. I think they're gonna show a bunch of stuff that they never.
But we know that
about.
Overwatch 2 is basically appeasing the people who didn't like the multiplayer aspect. So if that's what a big chunk of Overwatch 2 is,
I don't think that's what they're doing.
People wanted the PvP. No, it's like when they showed up Overwatch 2, like whenever it was like 2 or 3 years ago, I don't know, but a big chunk of what they showed was like the PvP stuff, like,
the PvE stuff,
PvE stuff, yeah. Which, like, I hate that stuff. Whenever there's like an event and that stuff's in there, it is so boring.
I know you don't like it, but like, I don't know, the stuff they've shown with that stuff looks really good. Like, I like the idea of like all these different like moves and stuff that aren't going to be in the regular game, but like kind of upgrading Reinhardt and stuff like that to have cool moves.
Cool, but like, I feel like fighting against those enemies is just boring.
I think there'll be a lot. I think it's going to be a lot better of a system than just like fighting against
Junkenstein's Revenge and the other one, whatever other event where you're doing the PvE stuff, is literally, I think, some of the worst stuff that they ever put out.
Yeah,
it's like I hate it. I don't think it's good. So they need to do a lot to fix that. But yeah, I don't. Give me a new multiplayer game. I'm waiting for that Sony new multiplayer game to drop. See what they got.
What Sony new multiplayer game?
There's some. They said that they have some multiplayer new IP that they're fucking in the works on. So I just want something new. Give me something new.
Yeah, you get You'll get something. You get Halo Infinite this year.
Yeah, give me that. I wish we could have that now. I wish we had that like midsummer. That'd be a nice little midsummer treat.
I'll be shocked. It's probably like a November game. I bet.
Well, now they're saying Starfield possibility of dropping. Like, remember how you said like it's not over? Xbox has some things.
Yeah, they definitely. The Xbox definitely has at least one other bigger title that's coming out this year.
From all the leaks that have been coming out recently with Starfield, it sounds like it could possibly be Starfield.
I will personally be shocked if it's Starfield. I don't think that game's 100%. Anytime soon.
We've seen nothing. We've seen absolutely nothing on that game.
And that's what makes me think. But at the same time, if I remember correctly, when Bethesda showed off Fallout 4 for the first time, they showed it off at E3 and then it came out like 3 months later. So like it's possible. Like maybe that's what they're gonna do. But I would expect at E3 for Microsoft to at least have one game that's like, here's this brand new thing that we haven't talked about and it's coming out in a few months.
Oh, it's definitely Starfield because Jeff Grubb, who's like that guy always fucking is right on point with these like leaks. He said it's Xbox PC exclusive. Like, and he said that with no hesitation on his Twitter.
Oh,
like,
I mean, I've thought from the beginning that all of these Bethesda games are going to be, at first maybe not all of them, but like Starfield, it's a new IP. That's an Xbox game. Like that's not going to PlayStation, at least not for a long time if it ever does.
I want like everything. I want Elder Scrolls. I want Doom. I want to at least do what they did with Deathloop and make it a year. Make it a year before fucking anyone
I think all of those things will be. I mean, and eventually they'll just be there. I'm telling you, the goal, and this is me saying this again on the podcast, and I've said it on other people's podcasts, and I'll say it again now because this is what I believe, is there's going to be a point, whether it's immediately with every future Bethesda game or like, soon, that the only way any of those Bethesda ZeniMax games are going to any other platform besides Xbox and PC is if Game Pass is allowed to be on those systems. And that's the only way you can play it. That is, in my mind, a big part of this acquisition obviously is to give Microsoft like more IPs and more properties and more games. But Phil Spencer's also said like a big part of this is for Game Pass. So it's like if they're just making this badass Game Pass library and there are games that people want to play, they're either going to buy an Xbox or they're going to have to work something out where Game Pass is on these other platforms. I see Game Pass coming to Switch before I see it coming to PlayStation, but I think
I don't think PlayStation will ever take it. Like I would like to see it there, but
I think there will be a time where they have no choice, especially because like Sony bought Insomniac, but in the Insomniac purchase versus like the stuff that Microsoft's buying is like a very, very stark difference.
But if you think about it, like Sony fucking makes out in that because Sony bought like Insomniac for very compared to what Michael.
Oh no, of course. Wild. But I mean, to be fair, I mean the stuff that like it's a good acquisition for them, but like Microsoft bought like 30 fucking things. And that's just the ZeniMax Bethesda stuff.
2022, 23 is going to be wild for Xbox.
I think it's going to be wild for both of them. If Sony came out and said that they have like 23 or 25 games in development, first party games, and half of them are new IPs, if that's true, and those are things that are going to come out in the next, 2 to 3 years, I think this generation of games is potentially going to be like one of the best generations of games ever. If there's that much shit coming on, for both platforms and obviously Switch too, because I think the Switch, I think the second half of the Switch lifespan is going to be some fucking heavy hitters. Like, I think
just give me that OLED. Just give me the OLED screen. That's all I fucking want.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think we're gonna get, obviously we're gonna Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, but I think we're gonna get probably a new Mario game that's like closer to 3D World Bowser's Fury.
Those second two games you said, like, I don't give a fuck about Metroid Prime at this point. Like, give me the game.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Absolutely buy it, but at this point, it's like it's been so long that I don't fucking care, and I don't even believe it's coming out at this point.
Oh, it's definitely coming out. It's just
Bayonetta, I'm just kind of impartial on,
Yeah, but it has a it has a good cult fan base that is excited for that.
If I played it, to be honest with
I mean, if you like Devil May Cry, you probably like Bayonetta more because I think Bayonetta's better.
But you know what? I liked Astral Chain when I played it, but I just never jumped back into it.
Yeah, I always want to play Astral Chain.
3 hours of it.
But I don't know. They got stuff. I mean, and there's always they got a well they could dip into. Which I guess we'll just move right into kind of what else we've been playing and stuff. Because that's kind of a good segue. So the Famicom Detective Club came out this week, which, I mean, I don't know, maybe someone has some type of knowledge as to why this is like would make sense for them to bring this out and port this game, but these two games are from the NES. They're from the 80s, and from as far as I know, they've never been released outside of Japan. They might have got like PAL region or European region releases at some point, but they've never come to the US as far as I know. And like for me, this is just such a kind of just look at all the things that Nintendo has and look at all the things that Nintendo hasn't put new games out or ports for in a while, and it's like this is kind of a random out there thing. But
no, because it's a final character for Smash. This is gonna. This is,
wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be mad about it. I'd be like, yeah, give me this fucking detective dude, like who doesn't do anything. I'm fine with this. He won't have a sword, so people will be happy about that. They can't get mad about swords.
I'm sold.
But I was like excited about it because I like Ace Attorney, and this isn't really like Ace Attorney, but I mean it's a narrative. It's a visual novel.
I actually really like Ace Attorney, but I don't know. Like, I like Ace Attorney because I feel like I'm always involved in that game, and like
yeah.
Is this game like?
So I'm only on chapter 3 of the first game. So there 2 games came out: The Missing Heir, and I think the other game is The Girl Who Stands Behind You or something. And I think The Missing Heir is the first game, and I think the other one is the sequel maybe, or it's the second game. And the first one, I believe, the overall plot is like a murder mystery, and the second game I think is like a more supernatural suspense thriller. But so I'm only chapter 3 in, so I don't know if at some point there are like different things that you do, or if there's courtroom scenes or anything like that.
So is it like, so the story is like the game? So the first game, the story is basically the whole game. It's like, because like I like Ace Attorney because like you're always, it's like keeps you on your toes, and you got a new case. You got a new case. You got a new case.
Yeah, which
so it's not like that.
It's not like that, but like it's like I'm enjoying it. Like I don't know. When I play more of it, I can have a better idea if it's like more comparative to Ace Attorney. At this point, I would say not really. Like obviously, there's the whole like you're a detective, so like there's parts of Ace Attorney where you're like snooping through scenes and stuff, trying to find evidence and clues and all that. And you're doing a little bit of that here, but a lot of it is like talking to people and like questioning them about shit and like trying to figure out like what's going on. There's some like questionable things. There's some, murder stuff. So you're kind of trying to like figure out who's doing stuff and like what's going on. The story's interesting enough, and I like the graphics a lot. Like it's a nice, it's just like well represented. But yeah, it's the thing about Ace Attorney that I love is I think the courtroom scenes of Ace Attorney, like I feel like I've never played anything like that in a video game, and they're so well done, and I love that tension. I kind of don't get that same like type of like tension and like figuring stuff out in this game yet, but there have already been a few moments where I'm like, who the fuck do I need to talk to now? Like how do I progress past this point? Like what am I missing right here? So it's not bad. I'm enjoying it a lot. I kind of want to see where the story goes. So I'll have a better idea as that gets on. But the other reason why I wanted to support this game off the bat is because I still feel like this is such an out there game for Nintendo to just throw over here for some reason. If this game does well, I feel like this means they're going to start doing more shit like this, and that's like what I want them to do. It's like, give me more stuff that's only been in Japan. I'll fucking play it. Like, I'll give it a shot.
I'm surprised that Professor Layton, like, as well as it did. Like, I feel like people really love Professor Layton, and we haven't seen shit from that. And I was actually very underwhelmed by the Professor Layton game. I played him like, these puzzles are way too easy. This is kind of silly.
I've never played a Layton game. I don't know how much it is, like how much it relies on the second screen. So maybe it's like too much of a pain in the ass to like make it work on the Switch. But I think there is a Switch game that came out. So I think there is one game on the Switch, but I think that studio has had some trouble over the last couple of years where I think they're basically not going to distribute games outside of Japan right now. Which means like if Nintendo decides to start distributing them outside of Japan, maybe. Or, maybe this is a situation where like Microsoft swoops in. It's like, we'll fucking distribute your games, put them on Game Pass.
Microsoft needs all the help they can get in that department. So
I
thank
mean,
you,
and that'll
Microsoft.
also give them more of a foothold in Japan, which is like
Yeah.
a market that they want to try to tackle more. So
Yeah, there's like
couldn't
they
be a
sell
bad
like
thing for them.
60,000 PC, 60,000 like PlayStations a week, and then there's like 302 fucking
I know
Xbox.
it's always crazy to look at those numbers.
It really is.
So yeah, I've been playing that and enjoying that a lot. Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out, but I didn't get my copy until today, so I haven't touched it yet because I wanted to play more of Famicom Detective Club. But I'll probably be digging into Mass Effect tonight and
I'm gonna
tomorrow.
start the hashtag stop buying physical because all I see on Twitter every time a new game comes out is no one gets it till fucking Saturday or Sunday or the next week.
Yeah,
Like
this
I would be livid.
so I
Like
never
that
have
is
this
not okay.
I like never have this problem, but
It's
the
COVID. It's
last two
definitely a
games,
COVID
it is
thing.
COVID. It's got to be the last
Yeah.
two games. Monster Hunter came a day late, and now this came a day late. I mean, I guess I really could have just went to Best Buy and picked it up, and I would have had it yesterday, but
Yeah.
I didn't
You've already
think I
played
was.
them though, so you don't
Yeah,
need to
I
rush
wasn't
through
like
it. Yeah.
knowing that I had the Detective Club game. I was like, this is just more of a reason for me to play a little bit of this game first, because I would have just played Mass Effect and not touched anything else. So it probably worked out for me better that happened. But yeah, I've been enjoying that. I think I guess briefly I'll touch on new Pokemon Snap because we didn't talk about that last week. So I played through that
Gross.
game. I finished that game. Dom and
No
I
one's
are
talking about that game. No
no,
one's
a
fucking
bunch of people on my
at
feed are
this.
loving that
No, I'm
game.
saying at this point, no one's talking about that game. That game came and went.
No,
There's
I see a
no
lot.
one
I see
talking
a
about
lot of
that game.
people still. That game's gonna sell really well. I mean, it's not. It's the same thing. Like people were saying, oh, when that game got announced, people were going nuts for a week, and then no one talked about it. It's like it's Pokemon Snap. It's not like this game that I don't think is gonna like hold the conversation past the week that it's out. But it's
I
gonna be a
told you
game
this.
that sells very well for a long period of time for Nintendo, and like the people that play it. Here's my take on Pokemon.
The
Or go ahead.
graphics look so bad that the pictures don't look good. That's my take
Whoa,
on that.
it's gorgeous
I don't
on the
think the
Switch.
I don't think.
It's
Yeah, I'm sure it's
gorgeous.
great. I'm saying like the pictures don't translate to what I've seen. Like it. The only time I ever saw people posting pictures with it was in the first 3 days. No one on, and I follow a lot of video game people. Not a single fucking person has posted anything on Pokemon Snap, and this is exactly what I assumed would happen with Pokemon Snap.
I still
And
see people posting about it.
yeah, I don't see anyone talking about it. I don't see any. It came and
I
went.
mean, there's not a lot to talk about.
That's
It's just
it's a
fucking taking
nostalgia
pictures of.
based game. That's it.
I mean,
That's
yes
it.
and no. Here's the thing with Pokemon Snap is that because Dom called me yesterday and he was like, "What? Like, should I pick up Pokemon Snap?" Because
Wait, is Dom a Pokemon guy?
I mean, a little bit. He's at least a Pokemon Snap guy. I mean, Mike,
Why?
you've played Pokemon Snap back in the day.
I think I did, but it was probably a Blockbuster rental, so I did not play it much.
Yeah.
I played it for whatever period of time.
But
I
Dom
rented
had
that
it at
for-
WPI. You didn't play it ever there?
Not that I can recall, no.
Oh, okay.
I also don't remember him having it there, to be honest.
I have his copy right here. He definitely had it there. But yeah, he asked me if it was worth picking up, and here's where I'm at with Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap. It is a game that I enjoyed a lot, and I will pop back in it from time to time, even though I finished it because there's a lot. There's like I finished the story, but there's like a lot more if I want 100% it and like find all the Pokemon and do all the stuff and unlock everything. But it's a game that I have a really hard time recommending to anyone because what I said to Dom was basically it is if you played Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64, it is a better version and more of that game. If you want to play that again, then maybe check it out. But it's like for me personally, this is like a solid 7 or 8. I had a lot of fun playing it. It was a great chunk of my time. I don't regret buying it. Like I don't mind spending $60 on it. It gave me what I wanted. Is it a masterpiece? No. Did it reinvent photo games? No. Did it like do anything spectacular? Not really, but it was enjoyable for me.
I think this is the problem: is that Pokemon, the original Pokemon Snap, was way ahead of its time. Okay, and I think that in this day and age, every fucking game comes with a photograph mode.
Yeah.
And I just think that I don't want to like knock the Switch because the Switch is one of my favorite consoles ever, and I don't think it looks fucking terrible or anything like that. But I just don't think that you're not getting the kind of pictures that you would get in a Spider-Man game or like basically any game you can have these
Yeah,
days.
but
Like
it's not
Ghost of
that type of
Tsushima,
game
like
though. That's not.
no, no,
It's
no.
not that type of
I'm
game.
saying that like no, I'm saying like you can get that what you're getting from Pokemon Snap out of games that you're not even buying the game for a camera mode.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
it's
saying?
not the
Like
same thing. That's the thing. Is like, and here's where I'm at with this. Is that I think if you don't love Pokemon, this game is probably not for you. If you don't have an affinity for the original Pokemon Snap, this game is probably not for you. If you're not a kid, this game is like if you're a kid that doesn't have those other two things, then you like Liam would probably like this game at some point.
see, I don't know if he would. I think the only way he would like it is if I get him that camera attachment, which I probably will eventually. But like
There's a
I think
camera
that
attachment?
well, the thing that you can take you can
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. That part of it I'm excited about. I can't like
yeah.
that will when I finally get one of those, that will make me play Pokemon Snap more.
And he would eat that shit up. He would love it. He would want to like
Yeah.
hang those pictures in his room.
Exactly,
you know,
yeah. And that's cool, and I like that aspect of it. I kind of wish there was a way for that to just be an organic thing that was part of the Switch, like you could just do it on your phone and fucking do it.
Great.
But you know, for what the game is, I liked it a lot. Like I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. Like the Illumina stuff in the game, which is like these special Pokemon that have like, I don't know, Illumina shit, they glow and stuff. I think those parts of the game are so bad, and I wish they weren't fucking in the game because they just slow down the game for me. But like this is for me, like photo mode in other games is like this thing where you are setting up shots perfectly and like spending time to do this stuff, where Pokemon Snap is you're on rails and you're constantly moving. So it's part of the challenge is like you can't set up the perfect shot. You have to try to catch the perfect shot, which makes it more of a game. Where if it was just you
throwing those balls, this looks like this looks terrible. Like keep on throwing those until you get the fucking perfect angle. I'm like
yeah, I mean it is fun, but again, like you don't like Pokemon, so like I think you would hate this game Pokemon regardless. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I don't like Pokemon at all. But
like a big play of this is liking Pokemon.
I would be willing to give Pokemon a chance if they actually made a different game than they have over the past 10 years, which they have not.
Please,
like, it's always
we're not going down this road. We're not going down this road.
Yeah, we don't have to. No,
yeah, because you're incorrect about Pokemon. But this is what I hope for the future. I hope that if they make a third Pokemon Snap game, wonderful. But what I actually hope is that the next mainline Pokemon game, whether it's the Arceus Legends game or whatever the next generation of Pokemon ends up being, I hope that they incorporate a camera into that game where it's more like a traditional camera, like photo mode in other games. Because I feel like if you were walking around at your own pace and Pokemon were just out living in the environment, and there were like maybe side missions that were like, oh, if you get these types of pictures, you get these types of items or something or whatever. Or even if there wasn't that, if there was just the ability to take out your camera and like crouch in the grass and like set up shots, I think that would blow people away. Like I think that would be like such a draw for the next Pokemon game.
Well, don't hold your breath because they fucking finally released DLC for Mario Party fucking 4 years later. So I mean, I don't see any
completely unrelated. Completely unrelated.
No, but like it's like the most that whole thing is just like the funniest thing to me. That like no one has talked about Mario Party. Everyone's been shitting on Mario Party for years, and they're like, "Hey guys, you can finally play."
I mean, I don't know. Mario Party's like sold like fucking 15 million copies. So
yeah, I mean, probably in the first fucking 2 years when I don't even know. That's
Nintendo just prints money with their games. That's what it is.
For real. It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to recommend Pokemon Snap. I think if you want to see the first hour of gameplay, there's also on our YouTube channel. I stream the first hour of gameplay and it's up there. But if you have nostalgia for the Nintendo 64 game and you want to revisit that, I think this game might be for you. If you love Pokemon, want to take pictures, game might be for you. Outside of that, I don't really know. I think if you don't like Pokemon, you would not like this game. Even though it's not other than having Pokemon in it, it's not a Pokemon game. But I think if you just don't like Pokemon, you're just not going to enjoy this game.
Yeah, I mean, they already have the fan base, so it's like this is basically for the Pokemon fan base.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
which is not surprising, like that's how it should be.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like I enjoyed my time with it, except for the Illumina stuff. I thought it was really bad, like just really bad. Easily almost bad enough to make me think like, do I want to finish this game? Because they were just annoying levels. Maybe not that bad, but they were the worst part of the game by far. Like it was just they were pointless to me. They were probably great for kids who are like, whoa, it's so colorful and like cool, whatever. And for me, I was like, this is way too fucking slow. I do not care. This is stupid. Like I don't care. But anyways, I guess the last thing we could talk about is, before we wrap things up, is maybe keep it spoiler free, but you finished Resident Evil Village this week, Todd, right?
I did, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I actually really fucking enjoyed this game, and I was a little nervous about it. And so there's like maybe one or two things that are scary in the game. Like Resident Evil 7 was so good because it just, like, the first half of that game, you're just like on the edge of your seat, and then it goes into like this whole like Saw kind of thing after that and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Resident Evil 8 is basically, hey, let's do what we did with Resident Evil 7, but let's make it like Resident Evil 4. And it sounds like a little ridiculous, but like it's basically Resident Evil 4. You're getting hit by waves of enemies at some points, and then some points you're just not fighting anyone, and you're like trudging through like scary little areas and stuff. But I really enjoyed my time with the game. I'm probably going to jump into a second playthrough, which, you know, that doesn't happen very often with me for games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I do think that it's basically like, you know, all those, you know, Lady D, all those people you see. Lady D is like the first part of the game, so, you know, and I thought that was one of the best parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I finished it in 12 and a half hours, so I saw some people finishing it at like 7 or 8 hours, and so I kind of took my time with it.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of stuff I didn't do.
I think I saw, maybe it was IGN, someone shared a thing today that was like the average playtime is 10 hours. So like you're right on that, like you're on the higher end of it, obviously, but 10 hours.
I took my time with it. I didn't want to rush through it.
You want to enjoy it.
It took me it took me 2 weeks to basically finish it, but there is a point when you get to, it's second to last boss. There's a level where it just gets very confusing because you're just following a map, but the map's like a 4-tier map, so it's like this level, this level, this level, and it's not like, it doesn't give you any checkpoints or waypoints of where to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of went from this like, I love this game, to like, it was basically the Heisenberg character's level, and I get to this one part and I'm just like, damn, this part's completely taking me out of this game. And it's one of the last parts of the game. But I will say this. After you get past that part, the last hour and a half it's like an hour and a half of that game, top notch. It's fucking great. It ended, and I have an issue with Resident Evil games because I feel like Resident Evil games do not ever know how to finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
They just get like a little ridiculous, and it's just like, every time you're just like, I think this closed up some areas of Resident Evil really well, and I'm kind of excited. I mean, I talked to you about yesterday. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about it right now because some spoiler stuff. But I was like, wait, where are they going now? And what are we going to do? And where is this? What's coming next? And I really enjoyed it. Minus that one section that wasn't terrible, but it was something that I was just like, I'm going to play Returnal instead, or I'm going to play fucking this instead because this is just annoying me right now. And it's not necessarily fun where everything was fun, but it's funny because I thought I wanted more scares, but I will say that this game does a really good job of balancing action and scares, and I think that's what this Resident Evil franchise needs to do. It can't be non-stop action, but it needs to be like, I think that's why Resident Evil 4 is so well liked, because it's like,
it's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything, and that's basically what this game is. It's a little bit of everything, and they saw what Resident Evil 7 did, and and they ran with it, and they're like, what's the most popular Resident Evil game? Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's incorporate this into what we're trying to do right now. And I was a little nervous about the game, but because my biggest gripe was Resident Evil 2 was with Mr. X, and I'm like, fuck this guy chasing me around. But like, that didn't bother me in this game with Lady D. And
I mean, it seems like that's her MO, is chasing you around, but she's not the whole game. So like, are there other characters like that chase you the whole game, or no?
No, that's the only.
So that's probably why they did it that way, where it's like, there's a portion of this.
For me personally, like, cause I it's not that it's scary that it's getting chased. It like makes me not be able to explore the way I want to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like with this game with Lady D, I could still explore, even though if I saw her, like, you can easily avoid her. She's not hard to avoid. You know, like, if she sees you, like, you can literally, like, you know that like video I showed you of someone had the fly swat and they were like,
Yeah, is that a real thing in the game?
it's like a mod or something.
Okay,
Someone
that's.
put it
I
in there.
assumed it was a mod, but then I saw other
Yeah.
people doing it, and then Mike sent that Sylvanus, Clavanus,
Yeah, I call him Sylvanus.
Syl,
but
Syl, Sylvanus video, and I was like, okay, this is either a mod or like,
Yeah, right.
or
yeah.
this is
I
in
think
the
it's a
game.
very popular mod.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now I can get why it's a popular mod. Is this? Are you happy that they're sticking with first person, or do you want them to go back to third person?
So yeah, we talked about this last night too, and I actually really enjoyed the first person, but ever since they did those remakes of RE2 and RE3, I really fucking like the way those games played. So I would be totally cool with them diving back. So the next chapter, I'd be cool if they abandon the first person. If they go first person, I will absolutely still play it.
Yeah.
And probably not care. But I would like to see like that RE engine for. I'm like every game I would prefer to have third person. I love third person games.
Yeah,
Those
same.
are like my favorite games. But yeah, I think they did a good job with all of it. And I'm playing like the mercenary mode after, and that's fun as hell. So it's yeah, I feel like there's a good chunk of stuff to do. It's funny because everyone was like, "Oh, I love 10-hour games," and you know, this is like, I need more 10-hour games. And in some ways, I understand that and completely get that. But when people said that about this game, I'm like, "Fuck, I don't want this game to be over that quick."
Yeah.
But I think I spaced it out between all the other games I was playing well enough, where like 12 hours felt like it was way longer than 12 hours.
Yeah. And like
So
honestly, I like a little bit of both. Like Famicom Detective Club is supposed to be like 7 hours, and I'm like, perfect. Like, give me 7 hours of this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll be
like that,
good.
perfect, yeah.
And it's like Mass Effect's gonna probably be like, who knows, like 30 to 40 hours at least for me.
What is each game? Like I don't know. Like,
I
don't know
honestly
what
don't
I'm
even
about
know.
to dump into it.
I honestly don't
Yeah.
even know. I mean, there's a lot. Unless I'm not remembering the first game correctly, all three games have a lot of side quests and shit you can do. So like you could dump a lot of time, and there's obviously like all the social links. So like if you want to like, be good with all of your like companions, or if you want to romance
How
people.
serious are the choices you make in that game? Because like I don't know. I'm just diving into this right now, and I'm like
So
picking what I'm saying, but I'm like,
I
don't
mean,
know if this is good or bad. Or
if
changing.
so, I don't need like Mass Effect Twitter to come at me because I love Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect, but I haven't played these games since they originally came out. So like, for me, part of the reason why I'm super excited about this trilogy is that because I haven't played these games since they came out, I remember like the overall things of what's going on, but there's gonna be so much shit I don't fucking remember, and I'm so excited to like basically replay the games kind of with a lot of stuff not fresh in my brain. But from what I remember, I'm pretty sure that your decisions matter throughout all three games and they carry over. So like when you finish the first game,
Okay, cool.
you have, I believe you have the option. You might be able to not do it if you don't want, but you have the option to basically carry over your decision making from the first game that affects your second game playthrough, and with the third as well.
Because you used to talk up 2 so much, and I remember I bought it when it was cheap. And the first thing it asked me to do, which I only played like 10 hours of the first game originally, and the first thing it asked me to do is like, are you going to follow what you did in the last game? I'm like, well, I didn't play enough of that, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. There's a question I was going to ask, but I'm completely blanking right now. Yeah, I'm lost. No, I don't know.
I can't wait. I'm excited to see what you think, because like I do think you'll like it. Like
I'm already enjoying it. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. And this might be spoilerish, but I don't think it is, because it's on Eden Prime. That's like the first fucking thing you do in the first game.
Yeah.
When that thing that happens with Shepard, where he has those flashes, is that something that's like the whole series is based on? Or is it just kind of like for the first game? Like when he basically has like all these flashes of like when he touches like one of the like pylons or something that like the bad guys are like, that turns people into fucking the other things when they put the spikes through them and everything. I just don't know if that's like a running theme.
Again, I haven't played the first game in a long time. I'm assuming, does he have flashbacks of the what
happens, like where everything goes and like how it all plays out?
I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering this correctly, yes, that is gonna have some future stuff.
When that happened, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down to see what
I
going.
I honestly think that the story of the Mass Effect trilogy games is really good. I know some people have issues with the end of the third game. I personally don't really have any strong opinions negatively about it. I kind of just like it for what the games are. For me, what it was is like, I don't play a lot of these types of games, or if I do play these types of games, I don't usually get attached and invested into the characters and the story as much. But with Mass Effect, when I played that back whenever that came out on 360, I didn't get it when it first came out. I probably got it, I don't know, a couple months later, maybe 6 months later or something, when someone was like, oh, this game's really good, you should play it. And I found a copy and I played it, and it was like, it fucking blew me away. I was like, I care about what the fuck is happening in these games. Like, I care about these characters. And
I'm hoping that's the case with me, because I'm having.
I think you will.
So, like, I feel like, and I know it's an older game, I don't know about the voice acting so far, and like the way the facial expressions are, and like I said, I know it's an older game.
Yeah, it's an old game.
Like, it seems like I can't get into the characters themselves, and I feel like I had this issue when I played this game years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
I played it like.
I don't know if 2 and 3 get much better. Yeah, I don't know if 2 and 3's like animations and stuff get much better. They might seem a little dead, especially because they're older too, compared to like games now. But I know some people don't like
Shepard's voice just doesn't make
sense. See, some people don't like Shepard, like male Shepard, because Jennifer Hale plays the female Shepard.
So I could have gone a female?
Yeah. And a lot of people like her performance a lot more. So you could always, I don't know.
His voice isn't bad, but it sounds like it's like Master Chief trying to play Master Chief.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes
I
sense.
always played as male Shepard just because, actually, in the original game, I don't know if in the first Mass Effect, I think you can in this Legendary Edition play as female Shepard in the first game, but I think originally, I don't think you could play as a female Shepard in the first Mass Effect. They added that, I think, in the second game. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably play it as male Shepard the first time. This is a game that I would probably play a second playthrough at some point. But I don't know. I'm very excited to jump into it because it's gonna.
It looks good. I mean, that's my biggest gripe. Like, I didn't know how it would look. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
So far, though. I think when did this game come out? 2007, 2006.
Yeah. It is an old game, so they did a good job with making it look good. I've seen a lot of people posting screenshots on Twitter, and I'm like, yes, this looks fucking great. Yep. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for it. I hope you like it because I honestly think it's like one of the best games.
Alone, I like the combat feels a lot better than I expected it to feel like.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like, I'm using like the sniper rifle, and all of a sudden, like, you shoot someone, it doesn't even seem like they're getting affected by it.
Yeah.
You shoot them again, they drop.
So it's so old. It's so old.
Games.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it makes me excited that you are okay in dealing with the combat now, because at least my nostalgia brain is like, when you get to the second game, I feel like the combat is so much better. So like, if you're liking okay with the combat now, I feel like the second game you're going to be like really vibing with it.
The guns feel good. Like, I don't know if it's like when you dive into it, like the assault rifle, it's like, I feel like I'm like have a powerful assault rifle when I'm shooting it in this game, and I don't feel like I felt like that when I played it in the original form.
Yeah.
So
I didn't really dive into what they updated in this game, but I think they may have updated certain things about like the controls and gunplay in the first game just to try to make it not feel super old.
So, like, do you get like different weapons, or do I just roll with these same like shotgun, pistol, or are there different forms of these
in the first game? I'm pretty sure you do get other things. In the next two games, you definitely have way more variety of weapons.
I figured it's all gonna like come full circle in like 2 and 3.
I like it a lot, and so the reception and sales for this game have been so good. By the way, that BioWare is coming out and basically saying like, keeps going this way, we're probably gonna bring multiplayer back. So like, multiplayer is probably going to come back. I'm very excited.
I was going to buy it because I was like, I kind of really want to. I remember you like completely talking up the horde mode.
That's what the multiplayer is. I loved the multiplayer in 3 was so good because it was basically just fucking horde mode, and it was so good. And I had like barely anybody that I could play with, so I played it solo a lot. And I'm like, oh,
which is so weird to me because like I bought every fucking game. I bought games that were fucking.
You hated Mass Effect. You hated it.
I didn't hate it. I just never bought it. Like, I just never was like, it wasn't something that like grabbed me because I played the first one. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I will say, because Mike just said it in the chat, there's like a Paragon and Renegade system where like Paragon is like you make the, morally good choices, and Renegade you make the morally bad choices. Yeah. And those decisions also affect the game in a lot of ways. Cool. Like a lot of ways. And like you make decisions that like, certain party members might die. Like you make certain decisions that like affect a lot of stuff.
Cool.
there's a lot of things. There's a lot, there's oh my god, the game's so good. I'm curious to see, there are certain choices you have to make in the first game, and I'm curious to see what Todd does. Like, I'm curious to see where he plays
I'm
these
not
out.
looking anything up. I'm just gonna play it.
I'm
like,
jealous. I wish I could go
yeah.
into this fully blind.
Yeah, I'm going blind. Like, if I kill someone, sorry,
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna try to, like, it depends on who I like and everything.
I'm curious to see who your team ends up being, like, through this game. There's a character that comes in the second game that is like probably one of like top 3 favorite characters for me in all 3 games. Like, I can't wait to get to him in game 2, but fucking Garrus. Garrus is my guy through and through. Like,
wait, is Garrus? Which one's he?
Garrus is like
in the first game, right?
He's in the first game. Yeah, he's like the one that everyone fucking loves. Like, everyone loves Garrus. If you don't like Garrus, there's something wrong with you.
He's the guy who was like trying to figure out who did the thing on Eden Prime, right when you first start. Like, I think he's the guy. Like, I forget the guy, the Spectre who, like, goes off the rails at the beginning. I think it is. It's like he's an alien with a spiky back, like,
yeah, and he has like a blue armor. He's a sniper.
Yeah.
He's a sniper. Yeah. Garrus Varkarian. Oh my god, it's my guy.
My goal is to keep him alive because I liked him when I
played it. There is a scene. Ugh, I don't want to say. I can't say anything.
Don't tell me. I know, but like,
if Garrus stays with you to the end and you have a good relationship with him, in 3, there's a moment that, like, I don't know, at least back then when I played that game in like 2013 or whatever, that like fucking I teared up for the moment between me and Garrus. Why have I never
played BioWare games? Like, the only BioWare game I ever played was fucking
Anthem.
Like,
which Anthem was so good, but I mean, come on.
Like, yeah, but it wasn't, but it was. Like, no, I know, but it's weird, and I've never played any Dragon Age game ever.
Yeah, I bought Dragon Age Inquisition for Xbox, but I never really played it. I always wanted to give it a shot.
I'm sure I'd probably like it.
Yeah,
too,
but
it's weird.
I don't know. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this journey. If you end up liking it, we'll do a fucking spoiler cast. We'll do a little fucking Mass Effect spoiler cast. Mike, I think you would like it too. Like, throw the fucking game on easy if you don't want to challenge a game. I don't think it's that challenging, to be fair. But like,
I don't feel like I've had to heal once, so we'll see how it gets.
I think the world building and characters and like storytelling is really good. Like, I think it's a universe that you would probably like.
I'll dust off the copy that I have for the Wii U and start back up again.
That's 3. Don't start with 3. The third game.
I'll just play 3 and get to the end of the game.
Weird that was even on the Wii U. That seems strange.
Yeah, it got ported to the Wii U. I think. Well, Mass Effect 1 was a Xbox exclusive. Like, it was published by Microsoft. I'm pretty sure.
That's why I played it. That's why, because it was like I bought it when it was like a Microsoft Platinum games that were like $10 or $20 or something like that.
Yeah. I unfortunately also have the Platinum game. I wish I had the original game because that's probably very expensive. But yeah, Jade in the chat makes a good point. The most important part is who's Todd gonna romance.
Yeah, like, I don't even know where that.
There's a lot of people that come into play. There's a lot of people. Oh my god! There's
because I don't want to compare this to Cyberpunk, because from what you're telling me, Cyberpunk seems very weak compared to like the choices in this game. And like, I could romance certain people in Cyberpunk, but like, everything was like streamlined in Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
which I kind of like, because sometimes it's too much.
You get lost.
Deep into, So like, but I'm excited to do to see where this, like, what the romance and what all this shit is like in this game. Like, I'm curious.
It's a good game. I hope that when I revisit it, that it still holds up as a great game to me.
What is Jade playing right now that she's at like almost like 2,500 achievement scores right now, because she's dominating the list
fucking
right now,
get good, scrub. You're fucking garbage at achievements.
I beat a game or 2, and like I still am like at like.
I don't know. We played It Takes Two for like 2 hours last night, and I got 0 achievements. So
I got that.
Fuck that game.
Achievement. If you kept on killing me for probably 5 minutes, you probably would have got that achievement.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, we're gonna divulge into a longer conversation if we don't wrap things up here. So
actually, you're good.
I don't know, Mike. Do you have any interest in any of these games or no? Famicom Detective Club or Resident Evil Village or Mass Effect?
Resident Evil, hard pass.
It's not scary, Mike. You can play it and not even worry.
Well, whatever. Famicom, I haven't watched anything about it at all, so I don't know anything in terms of what it looks like in gameplay, what it is. I've only seen a picture and then, the 2 titles.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's point and clicky, choosing dialogue options, trying to, be a detective.
Okay, then whatever. And then Mass Effect is a game that, on paper, I would probably enjoy, but I now understand that I don't know what buttons you have to press on me to get me to play a game that I think is going to be a long time commitment. It's part of the reason probably why I didn't play Cyberpunk yet. It's part of the reason why
Well, honestly, if you're gonna play any of these games,
I keep not going back to Nier. I've been meaning to play Nier, the one that was on Game Pass, because I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, and I just don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Mike, if you're gonna play any of those games, I would probably recommend this diving back into Cyberpunk because it's super easy. It's like it's not like making complicated choices. I mean, you can just romance fucking whoever you want and just follow the quest line, and that's it. You don't have to like make crazy decisions or anything.
I mean, you can mainline Mass Effect too. You don't have to like go off on tangents and do all this stuff. I think that you just will find in Mass Effect, like I didn't do every side quest. I didn't do everything for all of the social links. There were the people that I fucked with, and then there were people that are they're never gonna be in my party. Like they're on my ship, they're on the Normandy chilling, but like you ain't ever come out on the fucking battlefield with me. We're never gonna go do a side quest for you. We're never gonna go fucking dance at the club. It's not gonna happen. None of this is gonna fucking happen.
Oh, a little off topic. I just want to yell at Mike for a second.
Sure.
Mike, why did you never tell me about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
It never came up. It never came up. In my mind, there are like a handful of anime that I think you might like, but I didn't feel like ever bringing it up.
Oh man, I think I like it more than Titans. I stopped watching Titan, and I liked Attack on Titan, but like
no,
I'm
Full Metal
definitely
Alchemist.
enjoying it.
Yeah, Brotherhood's really good.
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
It's really good.
I don't remember if Brotherhood is the one I watched or not.
What is the difference between Brotherhood and the other one? Is there
there is a so basically when the first one, Full Metal Alchemist, that was released in 2003, when they were animating that, the actual manga wasn't finished yet. So at a certain point in the middle, they caught up and like, we're just gonna make our own fucking story, and they
Big Game of Thrones that shit.
I was just gonna say exactly.
So they went off and did their own thing, but it was like, imagine if Game of Thrones did that. Actually, I don't know. Was it just the last season that they had?
Yeah, last season was a little fucked up. And the last 2 seasons, but like I like the second to last season.
Wait, so with Full Metal, they didn't like do the filler thing. They just said we're gonna fucking do our own thing.
Yeah.
Weird. That's not normal in anime, right?
Right.
There are a couple other shows I can think of off, like Akame ga Kill. I'm pretty sure did the same thing. Yeah, it's not often, but I think with Full Metal, it would be tougher to, because that was, I would say, a pretty streamlined story. It would be really weird and out of place to do a full filler arc.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, the show's good. I think maybe at some point I might even try rewatching it, because Brotherhood, when Brotherhood came out, it was at a period of time where my access to like watching it was limited, so I didn't get the chance to watch a lot of it.
Ironically enough, you know what got me to watch Full Metal Brotherhood is I saw a TikTok, because I'm knee deep in like the Weibo TikToks apparently on my feed, but it was of the little girl, when she's like walking with like a jar on her, and these like weird monsters are chasing her, and then all of a sudden she just beats the shit out of them, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, oh, sold. And that night I watched like 5 episodes. I'm like, yep, I'm good.
I can't, Mike. We should take some bets. We should take some fucking side bets, me, you, and Dom, on at what point does Todd's new obsession with anime translate into him being like, so I started playing fucking Jump Force. I started playing fucking Tenkaichi Budoka, or fucking whatever.
I don't feel like I need to play any of those games because I never hear anyone talking about those games. So I feel like
I think that normally anime games are not good, or they're just like they are what they are.
Yeah, I feel like the good ones.
There was the One Piece game that I really wanted to play, knowing nothing about One Piece. I remember seeing like, was that game any good? I don't know anything about that game.
I have it. I started playing it, and then I stopped, and then I just don't turn on my PlayStation anymore.
Which one? There's like
I never
5.
Played, like, anything.
He's talking about World Seeker.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And I know
Yeah, I
you're
don't know
talking
what it did. Like, was it reviewed well? Did people like it?
I
Or like, I
I
know
don't
nothing
know.
about it.
I want to say it was probably mediocre at best reviewed.
Yeah.
That's
Looked
my
good.
guess.
I feel like most of the time anime games are like they're just meant for that fan service. Like they're just meant for that fan
Yeah,
base, and
absolutely.
they're fine games. I guess the best way to look at them now, and again, I don't play any of these really at all anymore, so maybe I'm way off base here. But the way that I look at it from someone who doesn't play these games anymore is that they're like the equivalent to movie tie-in games at this point, where it's just like, hey, you're gonna play
That
through the
makes sense.
storyline of the anime
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah,
I
that's
still think it's
probably
funny they
fair.
made a One Punch game where like you literally keep on getting hit and nothing happens, and then like it's like
The
the most
One Punch
ridiculous game.
Man game, I also hear
It's
that
so ridiculous.
it was reviewed bad, but I did kind
Yeah,
of
of
like
course.
I like the mechanic of okay, if you pick One Punch Man, who canonically is the strongest character
Yeah.
in the series, if you pick him, you're basically it's a 3v3, but if you pick him, then you have to survive for X amount of time
Yeah.
before he's available for you to play. Like there's like a joke of him running to the scene, and you just have to wait for him to show up, and then you can play as him.
Weird. That's so bizarre. Anyways, well, I think at some point, Mike, I think you'd like, because it has like some of the social link stuff of Persona, but it doesn't take place in a high school, so it's a lot less creepy. Um, and it has like more action based combat and not like turn based, so it's a little more involved. I mean, I like Persona. I'm not trying to like shit on Persona, but I think it has a lot that you'd like, and I think just based on the sci-fi elements, I feel like it would appeal to you because it's just I think a very good, well done like world building in fantasy
Like,
fiction.
again, on paper, I probably would enjoy it. It's just a question of do I feel like putting in the effort of playing 3 full-length games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
No, I
like
hear that.
I I always wanted them to, and I still kind of do want them to like make a good live action Mass Effect show or movie. But the thing that I always don't, or makes me uncertain about game translations, is that like you lose that aspect of like player agency, where it's like, especially in a game like Mass Effect where your decisions matter. It's like, so if they do a movie or a TV show, there's now like, at least according to the movie or TV show, a canon through line, a canon plot line that is the thing, and it kind of strips away all of that other stuff that makes, in my opinion, the game so good, where it's like Todd and I are probably going to have, a lot of different things happen to us in the game based on the decisions we make and the people we decide to align with and whatnot, and the way that we decide to be either Paragon or Renegade. Whereas if they, choose that route in a movie or a TV show, it's like they're going to pick their route, how they're going to tell the story. And I think there is technically a canon playthrough of the 3 games. Like I think there is a canon story. Like there is a person that canonically Commander Shepard is supposed to romance, and like there's like certain things like that I think are quote unquote the canon storyline. But if I remember correctly, the 3rd game has multiple endings, and there's one canon ending, and then there's others that aren't. So anyways.
You know why I don't think I played the first Mass Effect is because I think BioShock came around the same time.
Oh,
They both
maybe,
came
yeah.
out around the same
And you
time.
love that game.
Yeah.
BioShock's a game I need to play at some point. I need to give it a fair shake, see if I can get through it. But
The first one you should definitely be able to.
yeah, I need to at some point. I played a decent chunk of it at some point, but then I just never went back to it. I think I must have bought the collection or something. I must have the collection somewhere. Or maybe it's on Game Pass, or was on Game Pass. I don't fucking know.
It was on Game Pass at one point, I think.
Yeah, so that's maybe when I downloaded it and try to get through it. But I think that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at. We should get a code. I should try to get a review code for Resident Evil 4 Oculus and give it to Mike, and have Mike play that.
Absolutely, because I'll just buy that regardless. So it's like
Absolutely, because we all know how much I love reviewing
Uh,
games.
Yeah, but Resident Evil. No, but I think it's like a good perspective from someone who's never played Resident Evil 4 to jump into VR, and that's not a scary game. It's like it's funny because going back to what like the Triple Click podcast was talking about, the Resident Evil series games are really none of them are really that scary. They're more like actions. It's like Uncharted games, but just set in like a.
I mean, the older
scary-
games definitely have like jump scares and
Jump
stuff.
scares,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
But, like, nothing
those
like-
games came out when Mike and I were probably, I don't know, 10 years old. 1998, I think, was the first game. So like, I played those games when I was that age, and they scared the fucking shit out of me. Like, I don't know why I played Resident Evil 1 through fucking 5, because I don't like scary things, and I've played all of those games. Maybe I never finished 3, but I definitely played 1. Maybe I didn't finish 1. I at least got to the end of 2. I might not have actually finished the final
one
boss.
Was 1996.
Yeah, so then I think
So-
2 must have been 98.
Okay, yeah. So I was what? Like 13.
I think 2 was the first one I played, because I like specifically remember my older brother getting 2 for the PlayStation, and he had the PlayStation in his bedroom and I had the N64 in my bedroom, so I could only ever play PlayStation when he wasn't home. So like I was like always sneaking into his room when he wasn't there to play PlayStation games, because I didn't have a PlayStation
You know what's
myself.
crazy? Is Resident Evil 2 came out in 1998. Resident Evil 3 came out in 1999. The next Resident Evil game was 2005, and that was Resident Evil 4.
No, Code Veronica must
crazy.
have come out before that, no?
Oh yeah, those ones. I don't even
Yeah.
include those though.
I I have a lot of fond memories for Code Veronica. I remember it as one of my favorite Resident Evils. I don't know if that's because I was young and it was one of like the only Dreamcast games I had.
Is this the one when you're on the train the whole time?
No, that's Resident Evil 0, I think.
Oh, 0, yeah, okay.
I think Resident Evil Code Veronica you're playing as Claire. And
Sounds right.
I don't think there's a second character you play as. I can't remember now. But anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 258 of the Pass the Controller podcast. As always, you can find all of our stuff at passthecontroller.io, on Twitter and on Instagram at passcontroller, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, the easiest way to do that and the freest way to do that is becoming a subscriber to the podcast, sharing the podcast on social media, and leaving us a review wherever you can leave podcast reviews. I know Apple Podcasts has that ability. I'm not sure about other places, but wherever there is an ability to give us a review, we would gladly take that 5-star review. If you do have a few bucks kicking around, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you have Amazon Prime, you have a free subscription every month. And if you're not using that, it's just money you're wasting. So throw it to somebody, whether it's us or somebody else. Don't let Amazon keep that money. You can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and get yourself some 6 swag. And you can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller and becoming a patron. If you want to keep up with me, you can find me at bgroom. You can find Mike at _MikeOpath. And you can find Todd at Toddy_by_nature. And thank you again so much for listening to this week's episode 258. We'll see you soon.